What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shay Renee. So let's just get into it, shall we? What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 5, okay? Listen, y'all, I was going to come on live last night, but I was up all night doing this to my hair, okay? So a girl is tired and a girl is me, okay? Linda Gamble already on her job, okay? Thank you for joining me. Linda Gamble, I tell y'all every time, she's the hardest working woman on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today, okay? Thank you so much. How do I, oh, wait, they got some new little stuff going on here. I can't just click. Oh, child, they doing extra. I used to just be able to tap it. Now I got to put it up. My girl Sweet Pea is in the building. What's up? Thank you for watching. Ooh, D is here. What's up, D? Listen, D, I'm going to tell you right now. You the reason why I didn't go live last night. Because I did not want you to be like, girl, why do you keep on going live late at night? And I'm trying to go to bed. I just knew you was going to say that. Where we at? All right, cool. D says, yes. Listen, y'all, let me make sure also, hold on real fast. Because last time I went live, half of my face was covered up. And it was not like that when I was recording it. So let me look on here real fast. Hold real fast, y'all. Yep, the thing covering up my damn face. Why is it doing that? Oh, let me see. Is that better? Is it covering up my face, y'all? I'm making it worse. Hold on. Let me see. It's like if I'm behind it, it won't cover my face. I might just have to take this joker down. Can y'all see me? Well, maybe I need to lean more this way. Because on my view, it's like I'm behind the picture. This is crazy. I got to get my camera together, so I ain't got to worry about this. Okay. Y'all can see me? Okay, good. Because last time, I was literally, after I posted it, I was like, girl, you was behind the picture the whole time. That is crazy. But on screen, I wasn't behind it. So it's like, I don't know, this mirror view is getting on my nerves. But anyway, y'all, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 5. These ladies have lost their ever-loving minds, okay? Listen, I know y'all done probably watched everybody else's review that done went play-by-play with the everything and the everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and give y'all the quick on breakdown, okay? Angela, we're going to get to you first, okay? Your daughter is a trip. Because that lunch with Angela and her daughter, she's sitting up there telling Angela she can't, you need to cut your mother off because she wouldn't let me drive. She didn't want me to drive her car that you bought for her. Key word is bought it for my mother, not you. Where is your car? You're 25 years old, sis, or 26, however old you are. And Angela was correct. You ran off and got married somewhere. And the streets are saying you married a woman. Yeah. People out here talking about something she married a man. No, the streets are saying she married a female. That's why they didn't say it on the show. Okay. I was trying to find pictures for y'all so that I could show you proof. But the people's are saying that and it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. But that would give context to why she went off and ran off and did it and didn't tell anybody. Maybe somebody didn't agree with that type of marriage. Okay. Is that what it is? Is that what made you keep it from your mother? I don't know. But we jumping ahead because that kind of pissed me off, so I had to hurry up and get there. But the episode starts off where everybody, Angela and Britt comes over to Shamia's house. Now, Shamia is so sweet. Shamia is hosting them. She is trying to get to the bottom of the things. She's wondering, girl, what had happened? What had happened? Okay. She's like, you know what? I'm so glad that we were able to get past our differences, Angela, but hopefully we can figure out what's going on with this Kenya and Britt situation because Britt is coming over here. Now, let me tell you something about this Brittany Edie thing. Okay. It was totally unnecessary. In my opinion, I feel like if Bravo had have done what they were supposed to do with the whole situation where Brittany was out here telling people that she gonna end their life and she gonna tie them up with a chain and whip and all that, whatever the hell she was talking about before they went outside, then this would have never happened with Kenya. Also, Kenya, we're gonna get in your ass too. Now, I told y'all, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. Don't slap me and get mad when I steal you in your face back. Okay? You can't control somebody's reaction. Okay? That's why you don't do shit like this. There's no way that I would sit up here and use the platform that didn't. First of all, last season when they didn't record your opening or your soft opening of your salon, you were pissed. So now that you have the opportunity for them to display your business, right? This is what you do. Now, here's my thing. I think that Kenya is diabolical with the way she thinks sometimes. And I think that is a gift and a curse where it comes to her. I think that Kenya was pissed that they didn't show it. So she felt like she needed to do something extra ridiculous, right? First, she wants to get back at Britt. That's the biggest thing. Okay. She wants to get back at her. And then she's like, also, I need to do something so ridiculous that I can make sure that they're going to record this time. They will have no choice but to show what I did or show my salon. That's stupid. I wouldn't want to be displayed as such a messy person. You look messy. You look extremely messy, Kenya. You look like if I'm a person that comes to your hair salon now, people that go get their hair done, you want to let your hair down, literally. Your hairstylist is like a therapist to you as well. So that would make me feel like, okay, if I go to Kenya Moore's hair salon, is everybody going to put me on display if I tell them I done sucked a little peen? If I done told them I was out here dropping it low and bringing it up slow in a couple videos, that I'm out here selling insurance but not really selling insurance, but I'm selling, like, is somebody going to make a billboard and plaster it around Kenya Moore Hair Spa to embarrass me? That was very unprofessional, and it wasn't cute at all. And that was a poor representation of your daughter that you keep on saying that this is what you do it for. Okay? I do everything that I do is for my husband and my son. But I'm not about to be out here doing stuff like that. That's a poor representation of them. Why would I do that? But y'all, Shamia is sitting there talking to Britt and Angela, and she's just pretty much trying to. First of all, I don't appreciate the fact that Brittany it's like she took accountability, but she didn't. She never came out of her mouth and said, yes, I did threaten Kenya with a pow pow. She never admitted that wholeheartedly. She ain't say it with her chest. I need you to say it with your chest. I need you to say, yes, I did do this, and that was extremely wrong of me. I shouldn't have done it. Period. You should have called Kenya, because all y'all got each other's phone numbers, right? Y'all all in the group chat and whatnot. You should have called her and said, listen, girl, I I fucked up. Okay. I was mad. First of all, I'm upset because I really wanted me and you to have a connection. And yes, I was really trying you. I was trying you. I came on here because I don't got shit to talk about, but my don't really love me as husband because he likes somebody else that ain't me, in my opinion, from the viewers. If you catch my drift. My family don't really fuck with me like that. I'm trying to act like I'm the shit, but I'm not. Brittany Edie should have never been casted for this show. She is a perfect cast member for Love and Hip Hop. Hell, she can go on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Hell, because that's what they doing over there too. Faking it and never making it. Okay, that's Brittany. You coming up here and you giving, it's giving big weird, honey. It's giving very weird. You came on the scene sniffing up under Kenya's bottom. And I feel like Brittany had preconceived notions about Kenya. I feel like she's the type of person that was like, "Oh, Kenya, I don't like the way she is on the show. She thinks she all that. She thinks she this, that, and the third. I'm gonna come on there and show her." Who made you the person that is the king of the jury that is out on Kenya? You're just getting your feet wet, little pup, in this reality TV thing. So you think that you're going to come on the show and take down Top Dog? Here's another thing. Because we just talking, right? Y'all done seen everybody's review, so we just going to talk. I don't think that Andy Cohen really fuck with Kenya like that. I don't. I think that Bravo don't really fuck with her. I think they are forced to fuck with her because of the fact that she is entertaining. She keeps the storylines going. She's the antagonist. Unlike Giselle from Real Housewives of Potomac, Kenya is actually a good antagonist. She is. She can make you love her and hate her in between 3 different episodes. She has it. I think Kenya was made for reality TV. I do. She's entertaining. We can't deny that. So Bravo can't stand her personally. I think that Kenya is a wild card in the fact that Bravo looks at her like, okay, you're entertaining, but your ego far surpasses how great you are. And with that being said, you're such a wild card that we don't know how to take you. I don't think they know how to take her. Cause she can either take it there where it's entertaining or take it extremely too far like she did with these damn photos. My girl Brittany is in the building. What's up, Britt? Britt's my cancer sister is in the building. Montrez Jones says, I don't think Bravo cared for Kenya ever since that Carlos King interview. Well, you know what? Honestly, Montrez, I think they didn't care for her before that interview. To tell you the truth. I don't think they cared for her before that. Because every time Kenya will come on Watch What Happens Live, it's like Andy just there was a repelling kind of it never was. Typically when a star comes on that Andy likes, the engagement is more palpable. It's more endearing, and it could just be felt. With Kenya, whenever she came on there, it just wasn't. Kenya and Candace. I don't think Andy really liked Candace either. I think that it was very evident every time they came on there that he just really he was just not that into them. That's what I think. D. Herfer says, exactly. I think they were pissed with Kenya for not getting married on the show, or perhaps before then. Bingo. You hit the nail on the head, D. You hit the nail on the head. Okay. Yes. I think that they got upset with her because she wasn't showing you paying people to come on the show allegedly, then you have a story and you don't show it. You run off to some island to get married. I feel like Kenya's desire to be a wife surpassed her love for being on this show for just a minute, because she thought that that was going to be her fairy tale until he turned into an asshole. I don't know, child. Chanel said, Kenya getting that Nene treatment. No, at least she was on the show. And Kenya she was dumb, but she wasn't dumb enough to sue the damn network. I was like, girl, why would you do that? Why are we suing the network, Nene? I just feel like that was just the dumbest thing she could have ever done. Like, unbelievable. You are just cutting your hands and arms off to spite your face. It's crazy. But moving on, they sit there and Shamia and Angela having a pity party with damn Britt. Don't nobody give a damn. So next scene, we go to Kenya's shop. She has Portia come and Kelly. They're picking out girls for, I guess, the little runway show, the hair show or whatever. So Kenya is talking to them about the whole pow pow situation. I didn't really like how Kelly was overly boisterous and defending Brittany. Like, girl, you are yelling and screaming and carrying on, talking about something, and she would never do that. I've never seen her do that. How long y'all known each other, honey? I don't think you know her like that. I don't think you know her character. I just don't. Shout out to shayreneeonline.net. Also, quick let y'all know, my website is now healisticthings.com. You can still access my website to order juice and sea moss gel from shayreneeonline.net. So you can still go there. On the front page, it takes you right down to click. It'll take you to my new website. I had to get off Square for my products, y'all, because I was not getting my notifications. It was just a mess. So I done went on and upgraded to Shopify for my peoples, okay? Because we got to get the customer service together, not together apart, okay? Because I was getting the orders like a week later off of Square. I'm like, girl, what? I cannot. So Shopify notifies me right away, okay? So it's been working out really well. So this is my pomegranate juice. I use this one because the label that got all wet, but this is delicious. Okay, just a little selfish plug real fast. D says, I think there's more to the end story and what we contributed and what she contributed to Bravo. I don't mind that she's sued. She definitely opened the door for everyone else to feel comfortable to sue. Here, you know what, D? I think that deserves a full conversation about that whole Nene situation. Honestly, we might differ there. I feel like Nene's ego surpassed her talent. I do. I think that Nene thought that she was the show. I think that she felt like only she could call the execs. She was the one. She wanted to be Queen Bee, and she wasn't. I think Nene got so pissed when Candy came on the show because Candy was a person that had real money and she really was self-made. She was pissed. And that's why she treated Candy so terribly. I didn't fuck with that. I think that Nene's ego has screwed her over in so many efforts of her, or so many elements of her success. I really do. I really think that she screwed the pooch with her whole career because she let her ego take over. I do. I think her suing Bravo, I think that was that was an ego move as well. I don't know. I don't know what the magnitude of the differences they made in the cast. I don't know if we can say since I'm on here, but I don't know. I'm never going to take away, right, how that made her feel. Okay. I I don't know. I think that some of her efforts were exaggerated in my opinion. And then also you don't come on here and call your boss a cokehead, honey. That's something we don't do. Stick to the okay, yes, I felt segregated. I felt like you treated me differently, whatever, right? That's cool. I can get with you on that. But calling Andy a cokehead and all of that, that was team too much. It was team too much. I didn't like the way that she tried to throw Cynthia under the bus. I think that Nene's ego was absolutely terrible. I didn't like the way she treated Greg in his final days. I think that she made his cancer all about her. I do. I think Nene is super, super selfish. Super selfish. But that's just my opinion. D says, didn't they meet during filming? Oh, you talking about Kelly and Britt. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I'm like, girl, how are y'all the best of friends and y'all just met? You don't even know her like that. You don't know what that girl's intentions are. You truly don't. D says she was the queen bee in the show and it has suffered without her. She was jealous of Candy, I will admit. Yeah, I think here's what I think. I don't know if Nene was necessarily the show, period. Let me say this. It is very obvious that the show has suffered since Nene left, right? But I think that in my heart of hearts, the show would have struggled while she was on there too, because Nene's ego was getting out of control. It really was. It had gotten extremely crazy. But Kathy Griffin did it. Yes, but Kathy Griffin was not on one of his shows. She was not employed by Bravo on one of his shows. So that's just like me calling Carlos King a spray paint head. We know he over there Beijinging it up, spraying that scalp. Okay. Balding and hiding it. We see it every week. Rain don't want to see him. Okay, you're gonna have all the black. Well, he might get the good powder. He might get the good stuff. Okay, they might make it real cemented on that scalp. But child, he go out on a good hail and storm. I bet you he don't go nowhere without no umbrella or a hat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that melting into your eyebrows, your buzz cut right in them eyebrows, because it ain't real. Okay. Now that's just like me saying that, but I'm not paid by him. He ain't on I'm not on one of his TV shows. You get what I'm saying? So everybody has opinions about people, but when you're working for somebody, it's a totally different vibe. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. Brittany, my friend said, friend, I'm listening, working, and drinking. I need you to make me laugh because work is kicking my ass. Oh, girl, listen. Stay tuned, okay? Stay tuned. All right? We got this. So, y'all, we sit down with Angela and her daughter, okay? I think this was so fucking dramatic. Angela with her daughter talking about you bought the car for grandma and I wanted to use the car. Mind you, why is the daughter over there living with the grandmother and the aunt? Did you not want her living in your house to fuck up your marriage with Mr. Charles Oakley? Now, the peoples is saying that Charles be talking to Shay. That's what the peoples is saying, the peoples in the streets. I actually could see him with Shay over Angela, if I'm honest. I could actually see that as a relationship because Shay talk real fast, Charles talk real slick, and always talking shit. So I feel like their personalities would have been way better together than Angela and Charles. That's what I think. I don't know. But Angela's daughter, yeah, you can kick rocks, honey. Get a fucking job. That's what you need to do. Because you over here talking about something the grandmother won't let you use the car. One, where is your car? That's number one. Two, your mother bought that car for your grandmother, not you. So just because your mother bought it doesn't mean that you are a subsidiary of your mother and who in means of who controls what your grandmother does and does not do. Do you control the grandmother living in the house? Hmm? Do you control your grandmother living in the house that your mother bought them? No, you do not. You don't. You can't come and do whatever you want to do in somebody else's space. Then the nerve of you to tell this lady that she should disown her fucking mother because she ain't let you drive her damn car. Have you lost your fucking mind? Ain't nothing that I birthed and breastfed and paid for and raised gonna tell me what the fuck to do. Ain't happening. And Angela, it was given extremely too soft for me in that moment. Because I would have said to her, you better stay in the child's place. Cause you acting real childish right now. Where your fucking car at? Where's all the stuff I done bought for you? Why don't you have your own house? Huh? Then you ran off and got married. Then you pissed off because your grandmother told your mother. That's her daughter. And like I said, the word on the curb is that you went and married a woman. And is that why Angela didn't say your husband or your wife? She didn't designate who you married? Then you sitting up there talking about something. It's not even that serious. Everybody is feeling so extra about it more than me. Yeah, because you the one that ran off and did the shit. Now, what if you marrying somebody fucks up your inheritance? Huh? What if something happens to you and now the wife or the husband or whoever you done married is now trying to get benefits off of you? That affects your family because you obviously are still living off of your mother in Charles Oakley. What are you doing for yourself? The bottom line is, I love my son with every fiber of my being, but I will never, ever sit by and let him tell me to disrespect my mother. Hell to the motherfucking no. Not nothing that came out of my body that I gave life to. You shitting me? You lost your motherfucking mind. You think you gonna come over here and tell me what to do? And you need me? I did like how Angela spun it and said, so what would you like me to do? Or what would you do if you were me? Because it's like, okay, if you could tell me to screw my own mother over like this, what make me think you won't do the same shit to me if your child told you to do that to me? My mother needs me. She said, Angela said her mama is bipolar and whatnot. And she said that the grandmother made her promise to take care of her mother. Now, I never agreed with this whole the children should, make a better life for their parents. People shouldn't have kids for them to take care of them. You shouldn't do that. Now, children, if your parents get elderly and it's time for it's basically that time of life where you do end up taking care of them, cool. But if somebody is able-bodied, it's not my job to buy you a house. You birthed me. You see what I'm saying? My house that I live in, I obtained this so that my husband and so that my child, my son, could live a good life. I don't expect him to grow up. I expect to have this house paid off before he becomes an adult. I don't expect him to grow up and pay for my house. That's ass backwards. Now, if I get old and decrepit, I do expect him to find me a really nice home, or him and his wife, hopefully take care of my old ass. That'll be great. But financially, I would never want to put that burden or that level of expectance on my child, or expectation rather. I wouldn't want to do that. But moving on, Angela, your daughter, she might need a grown person ass whooping. Mm-hmm. A thick belt. She needs something because she's disrespectful. I don't know who the fuck she thinks she is. I don't know how she thinks she over here controlling your purse strings. She's not the one out there selling houses and listening to Charles' grumpy ass attitude and dealing with him so that she can pay these bills and take care of y'all. She ain't the one doing it. And I understand that her father has passed on or whatever. and it's just been the both of y'all since he been gone since she was 6 years old. But girl, that don't ever give you the rite of passage to think you gonna ever disrespect me or my mama. Okay? And that's on my mama. You ain't gonna disrespect my mother. I don't give a damn. Because Angela must love her mother in some capacity for her to want to do all of these things for her and take care of her. So moving on, they end up leaving out of the restaurant crying. They all both being all fucking dramatic. Angela talking about, we leaving out of here crying and stuff. Let's go. Angela, grow a pair and a backbone. So we go to the next scene where Angela is at home with Charles. A lot of people say that Charles is this, that, and the third. I like Charles not Barkley, child. Oakley. Okay. Barkley is the bold, light-skinned man on the TV. Listen. Charles Oakley, I'm telling y'all, he remind me of my husband. My husband don't be with the shits, okay? He ain't on social media. He ain't with nobody's bullshit. He don't want to gossip. He is very much so in his own little corner, in his own little chair. He gonna be whatever he want to be, okay? And I love that about my husband. Like, Charles gives me that I'm above anything petty. I don't have time for this shit. You coming over here talking shit about your family and this, that, and the third. You don't never talk to me about this shit any other time. Now you coming over here talking to me about it. Don't be fake for these cameras because I ain't with it. That's just really what it is. Charles is like, I'm not with the shit. Don't be fake. Now, the difference between Charles, my husband, is not rude. My husband would have been like, now, would you talk to me about this if these cameras wasn't here? And I'll probably like, nah. And he'd be like, okay, then don't be fake. He will probably come out and say that. But Charles is just not with the shit. He's like, and then she gonna ask him to come to the hair salon opening. Charles is like, girl, what? And then she reveals that he would be the only man there. He like, absolutely the fuck not. Why would I, Charles Oakley, this man that you have built up like Genghis fucking Khan, why would I come to a damn hair salon opening? And ain't no other men there that don't like other men but me. That's crazy. So she tells him about Portia, saying that she has something on him. Now, I believe that Angela is very timid around this topic because Angela is at that point where she like, listen, I'm married. I finally done locked this man down. I'm using his money to pay bills for my family. We buying houses. We doing all the things. Like, I really don't need nothing fucking this up. But I'm on this TV show. I got to ask this man this stuff. Because Portia is up here putting it out there. So, Portia is just running around creating minefields. That's what she's doing. She's trying to create a storyline for herself because her story is not going anywhere near what she thought it was going to go like. So she's trying to create little pitfalls for everybody else so that she can, kind of deflect and get the attention off of her and what's really going on with her marriage. That's what she's doing. And we'll talk about her conversation with Brittany too, with Britt Edie. So Charles says, look, Portia don't know me like that. Who is she, the feds? Okay. What she know about me? Now, Charles wasn't about to sit up there and admit no shit. He like, my name Bennett and I ain't in it. Okay. I don't know the fuck she talking about, but don't come to me unless I sent for you. Okay. Don't send me don't come to me with no information unless you got some rock solid evidence on some shit that I done did. Other than that, this is just gossip and fodder. I don't care. I don't care. He like, she got the right one, baby, because I do like to talk a little shit. So next time I see her, maybe we're going to have to go back and forth. That's what I'm saying. I would have loved to see Charles with Shay. I think that they would have been a good couple. I really, really do. I don't know if Angela can handle Mr. Charles. I really don't. But, opposites attract, I guess. But let's talk about the conversation that Britt had with Portia. Or was it Portia and Kelly? I can't remember. Remind me in the chat, y'all. Portia had a conversation with Britt or Kelly. I think it was Britt. It was Britt. Where she basically, Brittany was saying how she felt very dismissed by Kenya, how Kenya was, dismissing her ring and this. Portia, I love how Portia shut that down and said, listen, okay, not for nothing. In so many words, Portia was like, you had a preconceived notion about Kenya. You came on the show coming after her. You tried to make it seem like you came on here thinking that she was one way, but then when you got here, you realized you don't have no history with her. So she's not going to treat you the same way she would with somebody that she knows. She don't know you like that. Is that my friend, Sean? Sean! Hey, friend! What you doing? I was just telling people in my last video that I did 85 years ago, child, that I need to call you. Oh, I'm so excited, y'all. My friend is here. But wow, y'all, that's made me a little tear up a little bit. I miss my friend. We haven't talked in so long. But y'all, yeah, Portia basically put Brittany in her place. And she was like, you know what, girl, you doing too much. You coming on here with preconceived notions of how Kenya is. You don't know her. You didn't give her a chance. You didn't get to know her. And so you're doing the most. And at this point, you also cannot control how she responds. Because Portia, as a person that has dealt with the wrath of Kenya, she's like, yeah, and she about to get in your ass. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be hitting for. I don't know what it's gonna be hitting for. And if I were you, you might want to be prepared for that. You might want to be prepared for this because it ain't guilt make you tilt, honey. And Kenya is about to tip you all the way, tipping on fofos, wrapped in, yeah, you about to get it. And she was right. Linda is speaking to my friend. What'd she say? Uh, she said she misses me too. Oh, we gotta talk. You got a birthday coming up too, friend. Portia's so fake because she has now teamed up with Britt. Yeah, she absolutely did. And I think that that's, we're gonna talk about that as it comes along too, because Portia, I think she's just choosing the antagonist at this point on the show. And that's not a good look for her. Portia is so fake and unwilling to show her real life that you will sink so low to hang out with the world's most hated character on the show. Nobody is fooling. Don't nobody fool with what Kenya did, but ain't nobody even more so not fool. They ain't fooling with daggone Brittany. They're not. So I agree with what Portia told her, but it proves null and void because obviously you like besties with her now and you posting pictures of her and in support of her. It makes absolutely no sense. So we move to the Kenya Moore hair care event, okay? The ladies begin to arrive. Portia is there. Shamia arrives. Cynthia is there, and everybody's kind of giving Cynthia the lowdown on what happened at the bank restaurant. So Cynthia's like, "Oh my gosh!" So I thought she was like, "Oh, Shamia, you and Angela patched it up. That's great." Portia, have you patched it up with Drew? She like, you ain't missed that, and that ain't happening. Now, Portia, oh Portia, it's giving struggling. You are struggling just as bad as your edges for a storyline. It is, you are struggling just as bad as you do to close your mouth. You are a chronic mouth breather, open mouth talker. You never shut your mouth. You're always in a constant state of, I'm like, your mouth is always so open. I don't know if it's a bird, a plane, or something gonna fly into it. I don't understand you, Portia. But nothing comes out of your mouth often that makes sense. It doesn't. Because this whole situation with you and Drew makes absolutely zip zilch nada no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. You are mad at Drew because she's filming with Dennis. Dennis is executive producing, which let me go ahead and break it down for y'all what Dennis is doing. Dennis is funding the Drew music career. That's what he's doing. That's what it is. Reality with DVD says, you got to make it wider than that. Yeah, that mouth is always freaking open. Okay. She always standing in a constant state of, I'm like, girl, close your fucking mouth. Like all the bees and honey and everything gonna fly up in your throat. But yeah, this whole beef that she has with Drew, because Drew ended up walking up and trying to speak to her. Now, Drew said that, they go back and forth and exchange innuendos about who called who didn't call who, what, who to what. So Portia says to Drew, so you called me after your birthday? You're such a liar. No, you didn't. Drew was like, I didn't call you after my birthday to have a conversation with you. Now, see, Drew do lie a lot, so I don't know if Drew really called her on that. I just don't know. But the whole thing about it is, this is stupid. It's real stupid. It's a lot of double standards going on this show. Kelly talking about this is this is not Britt's character, and she wouldn't have a pow and this, that, and the third, but yeah, you walking around with a security guard because your husband threatened to end your life. So it's okay for you to defend yourself, but Kenya can't do the same. Portia, you can't film with your husband in the way that the fashion in which you thought you could with your luxurious lifestyle. And you're mad that Drew is filming with Dennis, but you filmed with Fallon and took her husband. But yet nobody can ask you about why you took that lady's husband. The double standards are the it's always moving. In the words of Candace, the goalpost is always freaking moving with these people. It's crazy to me. It makes absolutely no sense. Portia, get a storyline. Because running away from Drew all season, talking shit about her filming with Dennis, because Dennis don't give a fuck about what you talking about. Dennis is like, girl, I'm on here making money. Drew can sing, okay? Yes, I was the hot dog king, but guess what? I use my hot dog in whatever woman I want. It ain't gonna be Drew. I ain't putting my hot dog in Drew, but I am investing in Drew and her lungs. Yeah, that's what I'm investing in. I'm not putting my hot dog in her throat, but I'm gonna put a song in her heart so that she can make me some money. Because people see how much money you can make off of the music industry. They're getting paid per stream. It's a no-brainer. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that can sing in Atlanta. There's some talented people out there. But listen. Drew is on TV. Drew is going to have a lot of eyes on her this season with this whole situation with Ralph. Okay? It's a lot going on with that. So he's like, okay, I'm going to get a little piece of this action, and I'm going to be a part of the attention that she's going to get. Period. Let me invest in her music career. Because I think Dennis, honestly, I think that Dennis is smart. I think that Drew can sing. I just think that she hasn't had the right people backing her. She hasn't had the right songs. But this album that she has, the girl got it. She has got it. D says, oh my gosh, she did not take the husband of a woman that was pregnant by the pool boy. The way she moved with Simon wasn't a good look, but now they are getting divorced. Oh, I knew they was going to get divorced, D. That I knew. Now, was it sketchy how Portia and Simon came about? Absolutely. It was definitely sketchy. Do I feel like wholeheartedly that she stole that lady husband? Let me tell you something. Can't nobody steal nothing that ain't ready to be taken. I'ma just say that. Okay? But it was sketchy. I'm just making the parallel of, listen, Portia, you're doing too much. You're doing team too much. You were over that lady's house. It don't look good. Okay. Fallon was not checking for Simon and his old bald head peen. She just wasn't. She was over him. So she was messing with the pool boy. And even they are tumultuous to this day. So it is what it is. Now, I will say this. If Portia was over there filming in the basement with Ralph little scoop ball head ass, then I wonder what Drew would say then. But what will Ralph be doing for Portia besides banging her? Because Dennis is financing Drew's music career, and Drew can actually sing. What would Ralph be doing for Portia? Child, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm on your side, D. Brittany Janae says, "Hey, I like Drew's album. I think she's being dumb when it comes to record out almond head basement route." I think so too. Honestly, y'all, I think Drew still wants to be with Ralph. I do. I think it's a sick enjoyment that she has of arguing with Ralph. I do. I think she loves it. I think that she internally gets off on it. Drew is a habitual antagonist. She is. She does it with people in her personal life and on TV. Deep Conversations with Sean says, nah, Portia took that lady man. Even if Fallon was cheating, Portia knew they was married. And did. Yeah. It's all downtown, George. It's all downtown. It's a mess. Reality with DVD says, I don't think she got pregnant until she found out about Portia. Ooh. Well, you know what? Be that as it may, that marriage wasn't going to last. I knew Portia's marriage wasn't going to last. It was just a matter of time. That man is not going to stay with nobody too much, very long. This was his 5th marriage with Portia. One of them wasn't documented. So this man doesn't intend to be in a marriage with anybody very long. He thinks he's a playboy, and he uses his money to make him the popular man that he never ever would have been without it. It is what it is. So moving on, y'all. Portia, girl, let this whole shit go with Drew because we do not care. Moving on. So Britt is in the car with Kelly on the way to the event. Okay. She's, flustered. She's, wrote out this whole heartfelt card, and she brought some flowers. Let me explain to y'all. I don't bit more believe that Brittany wanted to apologize to Kenya than the Man in the Moon. I think that production told her to do it. I think that it was absolutely forced. I don't think that homegirl wanted to apologize whatsoever. I just don't. I think that she, God rest her aunt's soul. And I'm sad that happened to her aunt, but I don't doubt that Brittany probably ain't had no relationship with her aunt. You were just using that. How when the last time you seen your aunt? And not to say that she's not allowed to have feelings about her aunt passing away. I'm definitely not implying that. However, it's real convenient that your aunt passing away, instead of igniting sadness in you and shutting your mouth, you want to now pow somebody. Girl, what? It turns you into gangsta boo. The gangster, the nasally gangster. That's what you turned into. Girl, knock it off. Like, for real. You are the poster child for saline solution. Nasal solution. That's what you are. Don't nobody give a damn about any of the shit that you talking about, Brett. You are full of shit. You are a lame. You are an imposter. You are on this show acting like you are the shit and you are not. You walking around mad at Kenya because you have the engagement ring portion on. I don't know what we have to do, marriage 101. This is my engagement ring. I never got mine welded together. Okay? That's what a lot of people do. They make it one piece. But a lot of people wear it like me. This was my engagement ring. Okay? This one right here. If I wore this by itself, people would not think that I was married. They would think, oh, when's the wedding? Now, your diamond was so big, right? Okay, cool. Maybe you decided to take the band off. But that doesn't imply that you are married, sis. Now, sometimes I'll just wear the band. More often than not, I wear both because I'm just used to it. But if she was just wearing a shiny band that had diamonds on diamonds on diamonds on it, then there would be no question. But you were wearing this piece by itself. What are you talking about, girl? The reality is this girl wanted people to notice her so bad, and you got it. Kenya made sure you were front and center. Now, I loved seeing Miss Lawrence there. I always love seeing him. But y'all, let's get into the stuff that happened. Now, getting into Kenya putting this girl on blast, child. Now, this was one of the photos. I'm gonna take myself off camera. This was the first photo that Kenya put up. Okay, so Kenya, Britt comes to try to give Kenya some flowers and a card and apologize to her, and Kenya ignores her and brushes her off. Now, I don't blame Kenya because you can't come and try to throw daggers at me and think that I'm just going to get over it. I'm not. I'm not over it yet. Matter of fact, you threatened to end my life. So there is no, I will go to the ends of the earth to embarrass you at this point. Okay? And a person that is vengeful, that's what they do. That's what they're going to do. So the fact that you thought that you were going to come in there and just everything was just going to be hunky-dory, in the words of Kathy Hilton, you thought that's how it was going to go for you. And it didn't. So Kenya says, oh, okay. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and get, you want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. Now, y'all know Kenya don't really drink like that. I thought it was interesting that I saw her take a big gulp of what looked like vodka before she even pulled this out. I think that Kenya, in that moment, she knew that this was about to be fucked up. And I think that she thought ever so quickly about the backlash that this would bring to her. And she immediately said, fuck it. She was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure that they are going to air what's going on in this salon. And this bitch tried to come for me, and I didn't send for her. So now I am going to send her back from hence where she came from. And I'm going to dig in that ass with these photos. Now, Kenya, this was a bit extra, blowing this shit up on a damn billboard, on damn child poster board. This is too much. It really is. But she did it. She did it. And she don't regret it. I would have loved to see Kenya more apologetic, right? And the level of, let me say this. She could have just said, you know what? I went too far. However, I don't think that I would have been able to go this far if Bravo had have protected me the day before and put Brittany in check. Because if I had have felt protected in a manner in which I felt like they were defending me in my life, because this is my life this girl is threatening. That's fucked up that she was allowed to say that and continue to film. I don't agree with it. Now, is this a direct result of what Brittany did? Absolutely. But is Brittany to blame for how far Kenya took this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Kenya, you a grown ass woman. I believe Kenya is what, 54, 55 years old? You got to grow up, sis. You got a 6, 7 year old daughter. What kind of example are you setting for her doing shit like this? And you yourself say that everything you do is for your daughter. Are you going to show your daughter that get back is the only way to handle situations? That's what you're doing with this. Now, I know y'all heard Cynthia say, I don't want to see no pictures of somebody sucking somebody's boop boop. We can't say the D word on YouTube. So that confirmed that that's, in fact, what was in those photos. Now, Kenya further shows how much she don't give a damn. She posts this picture, Justice for Kenya. Really, girl? Is that what we doing? Is this justice? Is this justified, what you're doing? The reality is, Kenya, this is not the way grown women handle situations. Kenya is, she's always been like this, in my opinion. She doesn't accept responsibility for her actions. She very seldom does. And I think that this should have been a situation where she should have held on. She should have taken this like a G, made a boss move, and said, you know what? I don't like the fact that y'all didn't protect me and defend me, so this is where I went with it. Now, is this the right thing to do? Now that I think about it, I probably didn't need to go as low as I did. But it is what it is. But also, we can look at it on the flip side. I'm an avid watcher of New Jersey Housewives. Okay. I've watched all the housewife shows. I recall when Bookgate happened and Danielle Schaub, or whatever her name is, Staub, and her book talking about all her partners and whatnot. The men were passing around pictures of her in the boudoir, looking at it. So just like Bravo didn't show it on camera for Kenya, they didn't show it on camera for them either. But did they get suspended and lose their job? No, they didn't. Tamra and Eddie, people have said they've seen videos of them, allegedly. Okay. What's her name? Brandy Glanville, allegedly. It's so many Bravo celebrities that people, Kim Zolciak. The list goes on, where people have allegedly seen photos of people and shown things on camera in some instances. But now that Kenya is doing it, it's a problem. Now, I'm not making excuses for Kenya, because this was absolutely, honestly, I wouldn't have chosen my business, my opening, to service that moment. I just wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. Deep Conversations with Sean says, in my opinion, Britt didn't threaten her. Kenya didn't hear what Britt said. They were in two different places. No, she heard her. Yeah, friend, she heard that. That girl was loud. Even her husband, I don't know if you heard the husband. The husband was even telling her, girl, you're doing too much. He told her own husband, said, you're doing too much to Britt. And even let's say they weren't in the same place. That still don't give that girl the right to do that. I would never. I'm not. And hell no. Me and you out somewhere, Sean, and somebody be like, yeah, I'm about to end that girl life because I don't like her, that she get her hair done every week and her hair cute. I'm a take her down. And even if I'm within earshot of it, or I hear somebody, if I'm your friend and I hear that, absolutely not. I also don't appreciate how the women on this show handled this too. There is no way that I would have been condoning that behavior from Britt. Because just like she threatened Kenya, then she can threaten the rest of y'all too. This girl is thirsty for attention, and it is very evident. Very evident. And I believe Kenya did hear her on the way out, because when they were leaving out, that was when Britt said it. And Kenya looked over at her like, what the hell? And Kenya was standing outside of the car because she like, okay, what the fuck is this girl about to do? I don't know her. I don't trust her. And I got to keep on my P's and Q's and stay on camera. So if anything happens, we gonna see it. It's gonna get recorded. Both of them were wrong. I think that Kenya's wrong wouldn't have been created if Britt was reprimanded. I do. I think that Kenya went to hell with it though, putting up that peen photo. I just do. But yeah, she's posting, child. She's a queen. She don't feel no ways tired about this, okay? No ways tired. She like, what y'all not about to do is make me feel bad about this, because this bitch tried to end my life. I ain't fucking around with that. Okay? And last but not least, there's a whole shout out to Reality Rundown for getting this picture up, putting this picture up. There's been a lot of social media uproar about the way that the ladies are handling this whole situation with Kenya versus how they handle defending Kenya with the whole Brit situation. Okay. Nobody, even if they didn't hear it in scene, everybody has heard it since then. Okay. Because they're watching the show, obviously. Everybody has heard it since then. So the fact that they still haven't come out and said, okay, I don't agree with what Britt did. Kelly has said that. She's like, I don't agree. I didn't know that, she had said that. I didn't hear it, blah, blah, blah. But now that you have seen it, Cynthia, of all people, out of that whole cast, I know Kenya is pissed. Because that's supposed to be her friend. But you know what? Honestly, after I watched the Ultimate Girls Trip when Cynthia and Kenya were on there together, I had a new outlook on Cynthia anyway. Cynthia is very wishy-washy to me. I think that Cynthia has a woe is me, it's all about me, if you don't do what I want you to do type of personality. I think that's why her marriages haven't worked, in my opinion. I think that Cynthia thinks that a man is supposed to just agree with her all the time. And, everybody around her is supposed to bow down bitches. And the minute that you don't agree with her, I don't think that Cynthia knows how to problem solve well. I don't. And that shows with the fact that you and Kenya are supposed to be friends. And I'm not saying that you can't put your friends in their place or, check your friends. I'm not saying that you can't do that. But what I'm saying is, Cynthia, I watched you on Watch What Happens Live. And Danielle, the actress, was on there. And she was even like, girl, she agreed with Cynthia not defending Kenya's behavior. However, I think she was giving Cynthia the side eye too. Like, girl, that's supposed to be your friend. Like, what the hell? I just feel like Cynthia should have used that moment to be like, you know what? I think, Andy, I would have liked to see, as I'm watching it back and I wasn't there, I would have liked to see you guys do something about the whole situation with Britt. And maybe that would have prevented anything from happening with Kenya. Who knows? We all can't predict the future. But, my friend, I love her. She defended herself in this situation. Is it something that I would have necessarily done? No. However, I don't know. I can't tell her how to feel about somebody threatening her life. And I think that, that's something that needs to be paid attention to. Y'all need to figure out how to problem solve better. Something to that nature. Like, because I'm going to stand 10 toes down for my friends regardless. I'm going to check you, but I'm also going to have your back. They fired Kenya, but Brittany should have gotten some type of reprimanding. Like, they should have fired her ass. Because how you going to sit up here and you felt so comfortable and fancy free to threaten somebody's life? Now, Cynthia, you're right. She said, I'm getting to know Britt, but I know you. I really hate that you let that end this way. I think you're bigger than this, and I think you're better than this. And I agree. I think Kenya is better than what she did. However, as her friend, you've been hanging out with Brittany. Why would I hang out with a bitch that threatened my friend's life? I'm not hanging out with you, bitch. Fuck you mean? Ain't no damn way. We ain't getting no tea and crumpets. We ain't taking shots together. We're not doing nothing. Because I see what type of hoe you is. And that ain't one that I'm checking for. Ever. Sean says, Nene tried to tell the people about 50 Cent. Child, listen. I'm kind of torn on the whole Nene thing, child, because, you know, Nene be exaggerating sometimes. I feel like Nene she wanted Cynthia to be her guard dog all the time. And I think that's a part of the turmoil in their relationship. But you know what? Cynthia could have been giving her flip-flopper energy. She definitely could have, because after I saw what she did on Ultimate Girls Trip with Kenya, and somebody in the comments said they were able to come back from that. Child. I don't think Kenya and Cynthia's friendship you said not, they didn't. I don't think Kenya and Cynthia's friendship recovered from Ultimate Girls Trip. Yeah, I don't think it did either, because like Cynthia really showed her entire ass on that show. Like, I couldn't do it. But y'all, that is it for Real Housewives of the Atlanta. Okay, we're going to take a little break. Please go and like up the video, and then we're going to get into the Married to the Medicine. Let's go.
Yeah. Work. See me, I get work. See me do me dirt. So me for that work. When you walk a line. In the cafe, drive me a dessert. Listen to I be lurking. Yeah. You make a like, now you not like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the right. Nobody touched me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience.
All right, y'all. We are back to talk about Married to Medicine Reunion Part 3. Okay. Here's what I got to say about this. Bravo. Can we stop dragging these reunions out to 3 and 4, 5,000 parts, and we don't need to? Yeah. This right here did not need to be 3 parts, okay? Let's just make that very, very clear. It did not need to be 3 parts. Y'all, I'm just checking to make sure that you can still see my face on the video, because we had some problems with the way this camera was positioned earlier. Well, let me move over. This is so weird that me looking at it, I gotta be behind the picture for y'all to see me in the image. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, this 3-part reunion was not needed. It absolutely was not needed. We could have been done with this in 1 part, actually, because the fact that, you know, here's my thing. You got Jackie sitting in the front chair. You got Simone sitting in the front seat. You should have had Heavenly up there, and or Quad and Sweet Tea. That's who should have been sitting in front and center. Because Jackie don't never contribute a goddamn thing but an O shot. Okay? And she need one. and need to use it on her husband, and they 0.5 times that they doing to do. I'm like, Jackie, you are chronically, you were getting allegedly chronically cheated on by Curtis, but you still ain't giving him no il nana. What do you think that this man is supposed to sit around doing? Just enjoying the fruits of your labor, living in this house? All of that stuff ends up not meaning nothing after a while when you ain't getting nothing out of the marriage with your wife. You don't have any intimacy. The intimacy is gone. Y'all don't have a connection. And it's obvious. It's very obvious. But y'all, this whole third part was full of crap. Simone, let me talk to you. Pull your teeth up. Pull your teeth up. Your window shade teeth. Simone, I'm sick of you. It's very fake. This fake outrage that Simone has with Quad, it is absolutely too much. For you to be a medical professional the way that you are, and your bedside manner is trash. You don't know how to handle your anger. There is no way that I'm going to be charging and attacking Quad the way that you did. Over what? Mind you, the shit is fake. Let me tell y'all how fake it is. Earlier in the season, okay, this is on Simone's Instagram. She was going live and Quad and King were over her house. Over her damn house. This was when the season first came out, like episode 1 or 2 was out. Y'all know they record the reunion later, okay? They record the reunion later. So you was in love with Quad. Quad was over your house. Y'all hanging out. Y'all was laughing and hugging and doing this, that, and the third. Now all of a sudden, you saying how you wasn't effing with her and y'all was effing with Greg instead. And Greg was friends with Cecil. So that's why you wasn't going to give up a friendship with them. And you tired of Quad not coming around. But Quad was coming around. She was at your house. You're lying. You're putting on. And that's why Quad was looking at you like, bitch, we just been hanging out. Like, are you shitting me? If this is for TV, let me know. Let me know a little something. Because you over here doing a whole display of bullshit and foolishness for why? Because you faking. That's what it is. So she yelling and jumping up and down in her kitten heels, ready to fight Quad. For what? What do you want to fight Quad for? You're mad at Quad because you don't know all of her business? So what? What is knowing that Quad, before she said it on TV, knowing that Quad have sex 15 times a week? How is that going to better your life? Knowing that Quad was dating King all that time, how is that going to make you feel better? Now, on the other hand, I see Simone's point, because she's like, listen, yeah, we're all on this TV show. We have to show our lives. You're not showing your life. Okay. But Simone, what do you have going on besides your overgrown boys that need to grow the hell up and you going over there cleaning their house and your husband still don't have a job and he downstairs making drinks like the bartender off the Love Boat? What do you have going on? I think Simone is still jealous of Jackie and Heavenly's relationship. I do. I think that's why she has this love-hate relationship with Heavenly. I think she only puts up with Heavenly because she does genuinely love Dr. Jackie. And I think that she hates that Jackie won't relinquish that, won't give up that friendship to solely be up her ass. Simone is very Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Mrs. Hyde. And I'm tired of her sinking her beaver tooth into everybody else's drama and bringing none of her own. Now, again, I am the main component of these shows don't have to be consistent upon somebody's life being turned upside down. I don't. I think the shows can be good with people just showing their genuine life, and even if it's happy, that's cool too. But do something. Don't complain about other people not showing their life, but you ain't got shit going on. And then don't complain about what you think is going on in somebody's life, but you don't necessarily know that. Everybody is talking about Heavenly and this, that, and the third. And, you know, listen, I may be on a different note with this whole Heavenly and her son getting locked up stuff or whatever. Her son is not on the show. And her kids, besides Alora, and more recently her other son that is studying to be a dentist, they have made it very clear that they don't want to be on TV. That oldest son is specific. So for her to come on and talk about him getting locked up or whatever, is that really like juicy enough for y'all to, what are y'all really getting out of her telling us that her son got locked up? For what? Now that damn Similac in that cabinet, yeah, we need answers. And it's not that Dr. Damon has a milk allergy and so he drinking Similac. Girl, what? I ain't never heard of no shit like that. How did that win over coconut milk, almond milk, soy milk, hell, oat milk? How did that win over all of those? And you got Similac for his cereal? You must think I'm a fool. Now that, my dear Heavenly, I don't believe that. I think the oldest, here's what I think. I think the older son has a baby. That's what I think. I think the older son has a baby, allegedly. That's what I think. This is my personal opinion. Okay, let me put the banner up. In my opinion, I think the older son has a baby. I think the older son doesn't want to be filmed. And I think that the older son and his girl or whoever doesn't want anybody to know that they have a kid. I think that they see that the backlash that Dr. Heavenly gets. And I think that they don't want to be a part of her foolishness. That's what I think. Period. Heavenly somebody grandma, and allegedly, in my opinion. And that's what I'm going to say about that. So, Simone, you over here arguing with Quad for why? I don't see it. Let's move on, because this really, y'all, this part 3 really wasn't given all that it needed to have gave, or it should have never existed. So, Dr. G is out here looking like a motherfucking fool, going back and forth with King. King is like, I called the police station over this whole protective order you had against me, and they laughed at it. It was never anything filed. Here's the bottom line, Dr. G. You thought that you were going to come on here and isolate King. That's what you thought you were going to do. You thought you was going to say you feel threatened and this, that, and the third, and you was going to be in there kikiing with the guys because they really are your friends, right? So you thought that you were going to isolate him. You thought that you were going to sun him. You was going to pull a chess move on him. But you got there, you and your scarf and hat, and you was sitting there by your damn self with whoever that lady was that must have been your assistant, you and your Starbucks cup, in a book, reading Rainbow. You was not over there drinking and taking shots with the guys like you thought you was going to be. And when you sitting on that stage, all your friends were looking at you like you's a damn fool. You are very childish. I would never sit in your chair to get any advice from you as a psychiatrist, for you being a psychiatrist. I would not trust your practice. I wouldn't trust any of your initiatives. I wouldn't trust any of your advice. I wouldn't trust you. This show has ruined your career, in my opinion, or will if it hasn't, in my opinion. I think this is stupid. Dr. G, grow up. I think that Dr. G doesn't like women. That's what I think. I think that either Dr. G is wrestling with wanting to be with a man, allegedly, in my opinion, because that would explain why he hates women so much and treats them the way that he does, from what I see. Or either Dr. G just totally is in this barbaric Flintstones mindset where, you know, the woman is supposed to do this, that, and the third, but sir, you're not providing like the men of the Stone Age. You're not bringing home the bacon for me to fry it up. You're not doing that. Miss Sweet Tea sitting over here, out here on the streets talking about, in interviews, talking about she almost finished paying off Quad's house. How is she almost finished paying it off? She contributed. You didn't put up. That means you're not actively putting a roof over this woman's head. And wasn't that house? People said that the house was only $350,000. Hell, that house bigger than mine and costs less than mine. And you ain't done paying it off with all this money that you make as a psychiatrist and on this TV show. You got to be shitting me. That house should have been paid off. I think Simone is in love with Quad. She must be, because what is the reason? Right. It don't make no sense. What she's doing the absolute most. Simone getting mad about Quad bringing up being there for her dad was wild to me, because I was cool. Because it was cool what her and her teeth did last reunion. By Simone. Yeah. So and honestly, let me tell y'all, when Simone brought up the whole situation with Quad's niece, okay, I did feel like it was, I'm trying to be here for you, and it was slightly backhanded. It's like, oh, I'm going to be, if I see that something's going on, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to check up on you. But then it's like, but you didn't want to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. I feel like I think that Simone is pissed because Quad is the most private person on reality TV. That's what I think. And I think Simone gets mad that Quad gets away with that. I do. But Simone, it's not like you up here pouring your heart out and you giving all this story and you the one keeping the show going and Quad is allowed to skate. That's not what's happening. You ain't giving shit either. So, that's what irritates me about a lot of these people on these shows. They're constantly and that's what's pissing me off about Beverly Hills too, which we gonna talk about that. Because I got a lot of opinions about people that's now reviewing. It's people that's talking about the show. And I'm like, it's obvious that you did not watch the show from the beginning. I have watched Beverly Hills from episode 1, season 1. And anybody that has anything negative to say about Garcelle, you don't watch the show and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that. But here's the thing. Just like, Beverly Hills, Kyle has been allowed to not have a story for the longest time. Kyle never really had a story. It's been rumors that Mauricio has been cheating on her since forever. Did she ever talk about it? No. Did she ever address it? No. Anytime somebody brought it up, what did she do? Start crying and saying, "You're not my friend. Why would you say that?" Da 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 da. But yet you expose your sister time after time after time in her alcohol addiction. But you don't want to talk about, and she hid from us the longest time that her and Mauricio were even separated. Remember when they agreed to only talk about it on his show? He had a series on Netflix, right? That whole season where where Kyle was on there with Morgan, that she don't want nobody to talk about all of a sudden. You was on here flaunting Morgan, and then y'all were separated and acting like you wasn't, and that was just your friend. Then he gets his own show on Netflix for his real estate company, and now y'all want to talk about it as a family. Y'all didn't do that on Bravo. I'm sure Bravo has paid Kyle a hell of a lot more money than Netflix paid y'all for that show. So they weren't owed your real life? That's the shit I'm talking about. There are people that have been consistently allowed to not give up their real life on these shows. And I think that that's a part of why Simone is upset, because she feels like, what does Quad do? We don't even know where Quad works. We don't know what Quad does. We are at work. We're doctors. This is what the show is about, is doctors and doctors' wives. Quad is not a doctor's wife. Quad is not this. Quad is not that. But Simone, what are you? What are you doing? Don't call the kettle black when you sitting right over there boiling next to her. Okay? I don't get it. Chanel says, I don't think Quad is private. Simone just nosy. And that part too. I can agree with you there as well, Chanel. They was not nice to her during that divorce. They didn't want her around the men, but mad the lady was standoffish. You're right. Yes, because I remember that cabin trip. They were talking about something. I mean, should we invite her because, technically she's not married. It's like, okay, so were y'all really her friends? Because what y'all thought she was gonna fuck y'all husbands? That's really messed up. But this is a person that you mad at her because she got closer to her sister circle friends. Maybe her sister circle people don't treat her like that. How about that? Lisa Vanderpump brought up and she went to war against her. Right. Yep. You right, Celeste. You are absolutely right. And that's why Lisa Vanderpump said, I will not set foot back on that damn show unless homegirl is gone. Kiki said, what about your friend? Shout out to Lisa Nicole. Now that is funny and on point. Child, I'm telling you, these people, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the child. But that was really all that happened. They try to do this fake little kumbaya moments at the end where Quad and Simone, they had a little conversation where they didn't really apologize to each other. They just were being nicer to each other. It's very Dr. Jekyll, Mrs. Hyde. I can't. And so Quad said, you know what, I may have been a little hard on you last reunion with what you were saying. Quad, now here's another thing with you, Quad. I like Quad, but she gets on my nerves too. She will let stuff go in a moment and then pick it right back up later. It's like you mad all over again. I can't stand people like that. Don't be mad at me all over a fucking again, and I thought we were over it. Like, I don't like that. It's real fake. And I don't like how she takes forever to get shit out. Like, you talking and talking and talking. Get to the point, girl. I can't stand it. I really cannot. But, I really don't respect these women not having respect for Quad's boundaries where it comes to Dr. G. Because at the end of the day, none of y'all were living in that house with them. And you don't know what she had to go through with that man. You don't know why she was so determined not to have a child with him and to divorce him. And, let's get on to Dr. G. I feel like Dr. G has unresolved feelings for Quad. I think that he never wanted that marriage to end. I think that he's bitter. I think he's upset with how everything ended. He even talked about how if it was just about his character and respect, that's not true. Because you went into talking about what you didn't get in the divorce and this, that, and the third. Why do you care about that? Then through your actions, you're over here trying to isolate King. Because you're jealous. You're mad because you wasn't hitting it. Y'all wasn't doing the do for 3 years straight, he said. 3 years straight. And you sat through that. And now you're over here seeing this younger guy, able-bodied, probably got her swinging from the ceiling fan, and she's over here googly-eyed over this man. You're upset. You're upset because she didn't show that for you. But guess what? Quad, Sweet Tea wasn't listening. Quad said, I feel like me and you have more in common than you actually think. Or as far as our futures or what's next. I think Quad was basically alluding to you gonna end up divorcing him too, and your life will be better afterwards, and it'll be all is well, it ends well. That's what I think. I just feel like Quad, I do think that Quad was kind of throwing King in Dr. G's face as well. I think both of them have some unresolved emotions over that marriage. I think Quad is traumatized. I think Dr. G is upset that it was over. No matter how much he talking about Quad got a big effing mouth and this, that, and the third, I think he loves Quad and I think he wanted to remain with her. I do. But he don't know how to treat women. And Quad had to let it go. She's like, you know what? I don't care if I'm here for the money or whatever. I can't, I'm not dealing with this. Not dealing with this. But it is what it is. I just hope that they all asked whether they can coexist. And I feel like Sweet Tea says she feels like they can coexist because she probably realized, you know what? I don't want to give up this check. It was a lot dealing with these people this season, but I can come back. I can deal with it. I just think that, Quad, she doesn't know whether she wants to come back to I think she wants to try to find a way to finesse getting Dr. G and Sweet Tea off the show. I think it's for a couple of reasons. I think she's pissed off that her friends took them over her, right? But Quad, at the end of the day, they were all friends with Dr. G first. You became friends with them because of him. So it's like you were on the show because he was a doctor. You got to start facing some reality. I also think that Quad looks at Sweet Tea and she sees herself. Like, I think that she feels sad for her. I think she looks at Sweet Tea and she's like, oh my God, I just can't imagine what she's going through. I can't imagine what she's going through over there because I know what he was doing to me. Who knows what he's over there doing to her. But I think that Sweet Tea, I think Dr. G is working on taking over her mind first. And after you take over somebody's mind, then the physical comes afterwards. And I think that's the process that they're going through right now. Dr. G is mentally taking over Sweet Tea's mind. And then later on, he'll feel more comfortable. Ike and Tina Turner it up, in my opinion. And that's just how I feel about the situation. I don't know. That relationship gives lots of turmoil for me. It does. It's very toxic. Dr. G is very selfish, and it's sad. He don't know how to talk to women. He don't know how to treat women. And even I love how Eugene tried to pretty much be like, listen, sir, you tripping. But he also told Damon in the back, he was like, you called that man. What did he call him? And he was like, yeah, you can get your ass whooped for stuff like that. I was like, Lord, Eugene is being the Toya of the episode. But anyway, Simone goes around saying niceties to everybody before the episode is over. Heavenly says that she loves Contessa and they need to get it back together. I think this is all damage control and this is all them trying to save the show. A coward, yes. Did Yvette say that? Okay, yeah. Dear Yvette says he called him a coward. Yeah. And Eugene was like, yeah, you can get your ass whipped for doing stuff like that. But, listen, I don't know what this next season is about to be about. I think we have become exhausted with Heavenly and her antics. I don't want to see Contessa and her greasy hair, terrible outfits, lying all the time. I don't want to see Toya buy another house and go play tennis. Yeah, if Toya doesn't have this show, I don't know what she gonna do. She gonna go back to that doctor's wife salary, and Eugene gonna be working hella hours because I'm pretty sure she's not doing what she's supposed to do to invest that money properly, having parties for a goddamn Birkin. And thank God for Dr. Mimi, because Dr. Mimi has come on here and tried to make sense of these people. Okay, Dr. Jackie is boring. She brings absolutely nothing, but this is a free commercial for her business and her practice. Simone yells and she needs to go sit in, no matter how much she don't like Heavenly. I think she needs to go and get her teeth sawed down, just 3 layers off the front and off and 2 inches off the bottom. Okay, because I'm sick of her beaver cat cackling at us every damn season. Tired. I see your teeth before I see your words. Sick. Don't want to see it no more. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck was Simone's teeth? Okay? Stop. You talk too damn much. and about nothing. Sweet tea, there's nothing sweet about you. I have made no qualms about the fact that I don't really like sweet tea. I don't. I think that sweet tea is a closeted gangster. I think that she wouldn't bust a grape. I think she talks a lot of shit. I think that she is highly emotional, and I don't think that she knows how to manage her emotions. I don't think that she can thrive in this environment. I don't. I think that Dr. Mimi is, while a very good therapist, she's also an opportunist. I do. Let's get Audra back. Let's get a younger audience, right? Let's get some different people on here. It says medicine. It don't say doctors. Let's get some different people and different aspects of medicine on this show. I am just so tired of these people continuing to bring absolutely nothing. The only person that I really like on that stage is Cecil. And that's crazy. That's it. But y'all, that's it. I ain't got no more. It wasn't really much going on this third part. They could have kept this because it ain't shit. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. My cousin is here. What's up, Pacino Rules? Pacino Rules says, cuz we headed to Greenville Thursday for, oh, at Mount Zion Baptist. Enjoyed the reviews. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Dang. Well, safe travels. And thank you for watching. You know, I always love to see you up in here. All right, y'all. That's it. I ain't got no more. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this foolishness with us too. Also, stay tuned for my Southern Charm. I think I'm going to do. Did I do my Southern Charm review for part 2? I don't know, but I owe y'all a live for Beyond the Gates. I haven't done it yet because it's like it ain't really. The stories are not progressing. But yet I still want to do the panel so we can see, I just want to get everybody's opinion on what's going on. And the giveaway will happen tonight. I'm going to put up a thumbnail. My son, I just been waiting on him. He wants to do it. He wants to say the name on camera. So a members only tonight. I got to go to the gym. I'll probably be back home around 8:30. So yeah, I'll put a thumbnail up for that. So anyway, can't wait for Southern Charm. You didn't do part 2. Oh, I didn't. Okay, thanks, D. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that because child Vanita, girl, sick. Makes me sick. All right, y'all. Don't forget to visit healisticthings.com. That is my new website. Okay, you can also access my products from shayrenee.net. It'll just take you to healisticthings.com. And I appreciate all of your support. Thank you kindly, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.